Video games, Recon.
Now onto the Mob of the Dead wonder weapon, the Blundergat, and its many variants. The basic Blundergat can be acquired either from the mystery box or for free by completing one of the steps in the Pop Goes the Weasel Easter egg. In its original format, the Blundergat is a solid, a bit of an unsophisticated weapon, which is straight up bison for the lower rounds with an abundance of ammo, large blast radius and amazing bullet penetration. However, without being upgraded, this weapon is left wanting in the higher rounds. So, if you want to complete the Easter egg or get into rounds past the mid to high 20s, pack-a-punching or upgrading this weapon is a must. The Sweeper is easily my favourite of the Blundergat variants in terms of upgrades. Whether it's the best or not is purely down to preference, but for my money it's by far the most fun to use. This weapon reminds me of an Olympia on steroids and then some, which is cool as I have a soft spot for the Olympia as it's one of the most overlooked guns in zombies, which I think is bags of fun and is pretty useful for mid to high rounds once pack-a-punched and you have the right perks. What I like about the Sweeper, aside from doubling the ammo of the Blundergat, is that it does what it says on the tin, i.e. just point, shoot, kill, enjoy. No nonsense, no showing off, just good old fashioned blasting zombies to pieces. That being said, if you don't have speed cola, you're gonna wish you did, as like the Olympia it only holds 2 rounds per magazine. The Acidgat can be made by finding all the relevant parts and building the acid kit on one of the workstations and then combining it with the Blundergat, thus the Acidgat is born. This weapon is a funny one, as it now has features very similar to the Sliquifier and Awful Lawton, in that each shell has a delay that detonates a green goo that shoots everywhere and has effects very similar to the purple liquid from the Sliquifier. And the rounds also have a zombie homing beacon type effect like monkey bombs or the Awful Lawton, which is both a blessing and a curse, as when surrounded the Acidgat can really help you wriggle your way out of a tough spot. However, it also makes the zombies' movements very unpredictable, which is a problem, as the zombies' biggest weakness is that they are predictable. For example, when running a train, they are much easier to control, contain and destroy. However, after firing this weapon, the zombies' movements are much harder to read, especially on multiplayer, as the zombies are no longer heading towards you from their regular spawn positions, making the Acidgat a bit of a double-edged sword. After pack-a-punching the Acidgat, you will struggle to notice a particular difference, aside from the obvious things like ammo and the camo on the gun, as it feels like nothing has changed. Not the power or fire rate, nothing. I'm sure that it has, it's just that it's been buffed by such a small amount I can't tell the difference. That being said, I'd still upgrade this gun if just for the extra ammo. And like I said before, this weapon is both a blessing and a curse. That being said, if you're playing co-op and all or most of your team have this weapon, then I'd say it's definitely advantageous to have over the other Blundergat variants, as the zombies will more often than not be too busy chasing the homing beacons fired from one of your team's shells to be making a nuisance of themselves and bothering you, giving you near free range to nail them with your secondary weapon. Keep in mind though, Brutus does not react to the Acidgat or its upgraded version, so he might pop his ugly head up and spoil the party, especially if you're on the bridge.